Deciding whether to rebuild your website can definitely feel like a scary decision. Factors like time, cost, overwhelm, maybe your first experience with your developer didn't go so well and you don't really want to go through that pain again. Either way, those factors are very valid and they need to stack up as to whether you actually go down and invest in this path. Hi, I'm Danielle Connolly from Spring Digital, Head of Web Development, and I'm here to give you the top 10 signs you can look for on your website that will actually help you make the right decision as to whether to go down the rebuild path. Sign number 1 is it mobile responsive? I'll give you some statistics. 50% of users across the board, no matter what industry you're in, use mobile devices to search. So at their fingertips, they want to be able to call you, book an appointment, shop, do whatever it is to engage in your business. And if your website just simply doesn't work, it's too many clicks, even the tap to call, they want to dial fast. If you don't have a website that is mobile responsive, you are definitely going to drop in rankings and also fall well behind from your competition. Sign number 2 is it looks aesthetically undesirable. Now, you don't need an arts degree or a web design degree to take a look at a site and in an instant decide whether there's something that just looks off. Could be the design, could be the layout, could be anything that just feels like it's too hard to review or go through, or just simply compare it to the competition and it looks outdated. That is definitely a sign that you want to rebuild. Sign number 3, it's hard to use. So there's 2 ways you can actually measure this. First of all, ask your existing customers as to what it's like when they're trying to look for things on your website. Can they click through? Can they get the information that they want? Does it make logical sense? And doesn't actually reflect you. The other way is check out your statistics. There is a thing called a bounce rate, and if your bounce rate is high, this means people are coming and going very quickly. Sign number 4 is your brand message has changed. So simply put, over time, businesses will evolve and the value propositions can change. So if we took Apple versus JB Hi-Fi, the types of brand message is very different. Apple's has sleek, premium, no discounts whatsoever. However, JB Hi-Fi is loud, exciting. If your business changes, there is an ultimate transformation that you need to go through, not just for when customers are dealing with you, but for what you're actually portraying to your prospective customers so you attract the ideal customer for your service offering. Sign number 5, it keeps breaking or it's too slow. Fundamentally, if this is happening, this is definitely not great, and you'll spend so much money trying to fix it over and over again. Potentially, this could be that there's foundational technology issues. Maybe there's things that are just simply out of date and can't keep up with the compatibility of browsers, mobile phones, and even just the fundamental code that it was initially built on. Either way, just like your car, if you keep having to take it to the mechanic over and over again, you're going to get frustrated and the integrity of it definitely is in question. So rather than spending so much time and money trying to patch things, maybe have a look at the foundation and start again. Sign number 6, it's not ranking in search engines well. Sure enough, you can definitely still look at getting search engine rankings with paid advertising and all the tricks that there are in the trade. And someone with a bigger budget sometimes comes out better than you. That's just the nature of business. However, if you still are putting so much time and money into something and your rankings are still low, or even before you go down that road, maybe just have a quick consultation with a web developer to just ask, is the technology that my website is built on solid to support those marketing efforts? Sign number 7, there's just too much information. People's attention span is very short, and there are ways you can take your information and start trimming it down. However, if you can imagine the effort involved in trying to pull out sections so it still makes sense, it's probably not going to flow as well as it should. Just like what you would do with a book. Would you really take a book that's been published and then all of a sudden start ripping out chapters and maybe put it in a page here and there? It's just not going to make sense. So a fresh set of eyes is always a good one. Sign number 8, you need a coding degree just to make a change. Unfortunately, I've heard this so many times, I get calls every week saying, I just want to make a few tweaks. I just want to add a blog. I get this strange symbols and numbers and I don't understand it. It's one of two things. One, the technology could be out of date, or simply you don't have a content management system, also known as a CMS. Fundamentally, a website should empower you to make changes on the site that are simple. Text edits, image changes, adding articles. These are a must-have capability in any website that Spring Digital develops. Sign number 9, and it's an exciting one, and that is you are growing. And this is a fantastic place to be. However, whilst business grows, and that's great that your service offerings have changed, you need to make sure that you tell the world so that you attract the right people so that you can solve their problems. There are new things that you can add to your site. However, if it gets to a point where you're trying to retrofit and trying to include things that just can't be tacked on anymore, it could even be a new functionality. Growth is definitely a space where you need to consider whether you need to take a fresh look at your web design. Sign number 10, you're embarrassed to send anybody to your link. This is definitely a clear indicator that something is not right with your website. And it could be a number of things, especially for the 9 signs that I've just already talked about. If you're turning people away from your most important digital asset, this is a problem. So please consider that perhaps you need to start afresh and finally end up with something that you're proud of. So guys, that's it for today. If you do have any questions about your site or simply just want us to take a look or just simply reach out to your existing web developer, take this 10 signs and see if this is the right path for you to rebuild.